Hello, you beautiful individuals. Today, for like the 18th millionth time. Oh man. So, I just got a new microphone from an amazing viewer and still learning, how it works and the kinks and stuff and messing with settings and all that. And got it dialed in decent enough. So I wanted to use it and record part 3 of The Weakness of Hovind, the documentary by McKenna Mitchell. And I've been, looking at it, reacting to it, whatever. So, I was doing that, and it was going awesome. Then I stopped partway through, check everything, make sure it was, coming out good, and I needed to get something to drink anyway. Listening through it, and all you could hear is my kid yelling. Not all you could hear. Obviously, you could hear me, but you would just hear that in the background every so often. Didn't realize how well this microphone picked up. That's for sure. And, I was like a half an hour into recording, and I was like, all right, screw this. And decided to jump something different. I will record that tonight when she's sleeping. Because, yeah, I want to actually pay attention. This is a little different. This doesn't matter. I don't need to pay attention, nor do do I even need to say anything to this? This is obviously Roger from Mud Fossil University, and his video on granite countertops are not always made of what you think. This should be interesting. It always is with him. But yeah, no, I just want to have a little fun with one and laugh at it. And I honestly, like, after hearing my voice in it too, I still want to mess around with it, the settings, to make it sound as good as possible. But anyway, let's just jump into this and just get something recorded and put out.
Okay, my outstanding friends, wait till you see this. What do you think you're looking at there? Just take your time and look at it and start to think about what you're seeing. Look at all this, like a, I don't know, like a cloth with all the little, look at this, even a pinchy little wrinkle in there.
Pinchy little wrinkle in there. Okay, anyway, so I love that he goes, what do you think you're looking at here? Think about it. And immediately goes into telling you what he thinks it is. Like, no pause whatsoever. But anyway, that was funny. So, cloth or pinchy little wrinkle thing. That's what we got so far.
And these wrinkles and so forth, all that little flappy open stuff. Now, what else do we see? We see some ball-looking things with little, like, straps looking, coming off them, and all that stuff. What's going on there? Well, guess what that is?
Do we think it is A, a granite countertop, B, wrinkles of human skin, or C, a dragon? Honestly, it could, you never know. Any answer would be equally as crazy coming from him, even if he just said granite countertop. But he won't. There's no way.
That's going to be some guy's countertop. That is flat as a pancake. It's not wrinkled like that.
I swear I didn't, like, I did not watch this yet. It literally, he did just say it's a countertop. Okay, well, crap. Good job, Roger. All right. That's, well, end of the video. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see how it's not actually a countertop.
Let me show you something. They call it Cygnus suede granite from Brazil. This is a countertop slab. I'm going to show you an anatomical shot of this in a second. And I also
The anatomical shot.
have a granite countertop here. But mine is completely different. And wait till you see what mine is. It's going to blow your mind.
Oh my god. See, that's why, dude, I gotta say, as ridiculous as Roger is, I just can't help but love him. I mean, he's so passionate about this stuff. It's endearing. It's awesome to see. I just wish he could turn that to something not so crazy. But at the same time, then I wouldn't have something to laugh at.
Let me show you what this is anatomically. All right, I'm telling you, that was interstitium. That slab of suede was this and wrinkled like here and there as the guy was all crunched up and so forth. And then they
Oh my God. As the guy was all crunched up and so forth. So does he think that countertop was it like used to be a person? Is that what he is that what he's getting at? There's no way. I mean, I assumed he would think it's like skin, but I'm starting to believe, at least just from that one little comment, that he's saying it's a person or a giant person, probably just compressed and compacted into that. Man,
they cut it like this so you could see these wrinkles, and they cut right through some of these balls, and we could see these straps, and it was stretched like this, and some areas were wrinkled. Now, it comes even bigger than what you just saw. In us, this is microscopic, but it can come to this size too here on Earth, and even bigger.
oh my God, bro, listen, no, just no. Man, where do I even start? For one, those things did not look the same to me at all, like not even a little bit. But for two, no, the rocks were not people or giant people or whatever. And let's just let them finish.
And this is the skin, and that is that interstitial, all that flappy stuff. And if this was solid,
That flappy stuff, bro. Just learn what it's called. Didn't you just have a diagram up?
they would have cut it just like this, and we would have seen the exact same pattern as this right here. And in that particular
I bet you wouldn't. Like you just wouldn't at all.
one, that's particular granite, it went into a little bit of a wrinkle zone. And guess where that happened? It happened elsewhere, and it happened on Mars. And I'll show you this exact pattern.
It happened on Mars. Mars. What? And I gotta apologize real quick too. If I get loud at some point, I'll try to make sure I don't blow eardrums out, like in editing, but, if it happens, I apologize. But I mean, look at how ridiculous this is. What do you mean it happened on Mars? What happened on Mars? How do you say that but not. What?
On Mars. Mars was 100% alive at one point, and I believe it's dead now because of the impact with Venus when we were almost impacted back 1500 BC.
1500 BC? What do you mean 1500? That wasn't even that long ago. Oh, what is this?
This is a
Normally I just skip the ads and not put it in the recording, but I don't even care. What do you mean 1500 BC? What happened in 1500 BC? Venus hit Mars and almost hit Earth? Is that a thing? I've never heard that. Man, now I actually. Hold on. Okay, so the only thing I could find about that was some dude wrote a book that became popular in like the 50s or something about Venus coming from Jupiter and then almost hitting Earth and then hitting Mars about 3,500 years ago, so around 1500 BC. But that's all I could. I didn't see any like actual evidence for that. Just some dude wrote a book, which definitely doesn't count. So I'm gonna assume that's just complete nonsense. I assumed that from the beginning, but you never know with Roger. I had to check. I just didn't realize. I mean, it gives me a little something that at least it was wrote down somewhere. It didn't just come off the top of his head. But yeah. Anyway, that's wow. Good old Roger, man. Making me, I guess, learn something kind of.
a pretty good idea of everything that's going on. We saw the interstitium. We saw this is exact same as this, and the balls have eroded and are in the.
Oh, and I didn't even finish. Sorry. I mean, I cut him off, but does it matter? He doesn't actually say anything that's real. The book, essentially, it seems like they kind of, the dude that wrote it adhered to that electromagnetism thing, like where essentially they believe it can weird things can happen basically because of electromagnetism or something, and it's apparently that trumps gravity, and I don't know. It's all nonsense though. It just is.
Mud of the red flesh that has eroded down. Now, these balls are identical to these balls over here. These are called the Moki marbles. They're in Utah. And this below is the basement layer of skin, and everything else has eroded off in the moisture of at some point in the past. Now it's kind of dry out there.
Now, so are you like? Is he claiming here that the entire Earth is covered in skin? Because he did kind of make that claim for Mars, so it wouldn't surprise me. But or is this just somebody died here, like a giant? Like you just never know with him.
Now, this obviously is on the side of the ocean. It's eroding every day. So they're becoming part of the shoreline. Now, this is what interstitium looks like, just like we saw in that piece of stone. That's what it actually really looks like.
Does it though? Honestly, I will give it to him. That does look more like the granite countertop. It's in no way exact or anything, but I mean, it does look more like it. So at least I somewhat understand how his mind got there, and that's something. Because sometimes the things he brings up just look nothing like anything, but this somewhat does. So I guess credit where it's due, kind of, but it's still nonsense. Man, it's not surprising that things would look like other things in nature. I mean, it's nature. It's not just with this. I mean, a lot of stuff does that, but it doesn't. It's that whole thing. Causation or correlation doesn't equal causation. Like, just because something does look like it doesn't mean that they're the same frickin' thing. Like, that's just nonsense. And it's never mind. Just let them keep going for a little bit more.
All right, I showed you the Moki marbles. These are the Mars blueberries. They're exactly the same thing because Mars was exactly the same as Earth until it was killed during that terrible event. Now,
Mars was exactly the same as Earth until it was killed during that event. And I'm guessing he means the event of Venus supposedly hitting Mars, even though that didn't happen. Yeah, so no, Roger. Just no. Even if Mars was Earth-like at some point, which it easily could have been, it wasn't alive. It didn't have skin. That's just crazy.
now, this is the Mars crab. I've shown this a lot of times. And that is an artery and a vein. And these are the little blood vessels that go in to service the muscle tissue. These are sarcomeres, shown it a million times.
See, now, not even kidding you, just from this picture, if you told me that was actually like something man-made, or not man-made, I guess, but you know what I mean, like some kind of life that lived there however many bajillions of years ago, and it's just a artifact, or like that I could, get behind a little bit. I mean, we haven't really found evidence of that yet, obviously, but still, it wouldn't be that surprising. It'd be crazy and it'd be extraordinary, but it wouldn't be like that surprising. Could see it happening. This being a blood vessel to the planet? No, Roger, no. Why have we not found any planets with these that has skin still intact? I mean, if these planets died, well, where's Earth's skin that's intact? Earth's not dead, at least I don't think. According to, I mean, I get why you say Mars is dead, technically. It doesn't have whatever, all trees and pretty stuff on it. It's just rock and dirt, basically. Well, maybe not, could have some microscopic organisms on it still, potentially, but we're still looking for that. But Earth obviously has a lot of life on it. So where's Earth's, like, intact skin? Why am I even questioning this?
Now here's exactly what's going on with that granite, that suede granite. some of them are pulled apart and the balls are still in there and they cut straight down. So what we're seeing is these flap and this wave and a flap and a wave. And that is just like if they cut down through that. And this is on the surface of Mars. It's called the Mars Morse Code. Look up some of these things and see if you think Mars was ever alive and these are biological features, because I've certainly.
No, I don't think. I don't think Mars was ever alive, at least not in the sense that it had skin. Do they have faces? I mean, because a lot of things he compares to people. That's so. I mean, how? Man, I don't know. How weird. Could you imagine planets with faces? Fuck. I don't like to think of that at all.
Absolutely, there's no question, that's what they are. And Earth was alive, and so was Mars.
See, you said was alive, so Earth's not alive anymore? What happened to it? Why is it dead? I'm so what is an alive planet? What does that mean?
Mars is purely dead now. All right, now, if anybody knows Chinese or whatever his writing is, I believe it's Chinese, I would like to know what that says. I'm going to home in on it a little closer. All right, take your time, look at it, and see if you can. Anybody?
I freaking love that. I'm gonna hone in a little closer. Hold on. Zoomed in. Why? Just, dude, use some screen capturing software. This man has 167,000 subscribers. I understand it's not like an insane number, but for this channel it is. And he has. What? I mean, this dude, he's been making the same type of video the entire time, which, whatever, I guess that's consistency. But you can improve on certain parts. You could use screen capturing software. It's not that hard. You can get it for free. Like, I don't.
Anybody can figure out what that says, I would ask.
Honestly, he uses a Mac, I think. Don't they just have a program already on there usually? I'm not that familiar with Macs, but.
Absolutely like to know. Now, I'm going to show you my countertop. And I'm going to tell you what, I think my countertop is made out of exactly what this guy is doing, is grinding people up.
Okay. Wow. That's an interesting thing to say on the internet. I believe my countertop is made from grinded up people. That's okay. Good look, Roger. Good look. I can't wait to see this countertop.
To the tiniest little bits and pieces with this wheel of torture. Wheel of.
Oh my god. What was that? From this wheel of torture. Oh my god. That was awesome. Man, this is why I love you, Roger. I can't stay mad at you.
Of death. You see what it's doing? It's going to crack it up into little bits and pieces, little squared chunks. And that's what my countertop is made of.
It would be so funny. And I don't think it is just by looking at it, because it does look like some kind of wheel of torture, for lack of a better word. But it would be really funny if this said, like, ancient back cracking device, or just something not actually scary. It's just, again, I'm sure it is some kind of torture thing. It looks quite torturous. And you got this dude back here who looks tied up. But you never know. I mean, it's possible. Probably not.
And the reason they're doing that is because they extracted the metals from all of these bodies by draining all the fluids and congealing the metals. That's what I take, because I couldn't find any metals in my counter except one tiny piece. I'm going to show you.
What? Like, wait, so a few things I need answered. One, is this just a normal human being as we know it today, or is this supposed to be a depiction of a giant, according to Roger's worldview? Two, metals? Like, I mean, I understand, yes, technically we do, but the amounts, I mean, it's just not there. And no, there's easier ways to get metal. But whatever, anyway, let's say it's metals. So that's why you don't have them in your countertop? Maybe it's just because it's not made of people or metal. Ah, man, my brain hurts. I know I'm dumb, but wow. Wow, no wonder I'm so dumb though. Watch videos like this.
All right, what I want to show you something is you got muscle and
No,
you got.
Roger, no, hold on. I want to see the countertop. That's what you promised me. I don't care about this nonsense. Oh, here we go. Okay.
So
Oh my
now we're.
gosh. Hold on. All right, sorry. Had to get rid of that ad. So, I think we're going to go to the countertop. That's what I wanted to see, Roger. That's what I'm excited for. Come on.
Made my countertop out of it. Now look at this. This is
Okay, I'm a little disappointed. I really thought you would just point the camera at the countertop, not a picture of the countertop on your computer screen that you're pointing the camera at. Man,
my countertop, and it's granite, and there's quite a bit of it. I didn't measure it exactly, but let's say there's 20 feet. It's every bit of that plus, and there's an island and everything. Now, that's the only piece of metal I could find. Literally, I looked a lot. I didn't, obviously didn't look every little bit and piece, but I looked a lot. And
what do you mean? You just said this is the only piece of metal I can find, but I didn't look at every piece. Oh, Roger, Roger, my dude, did you? And what do you mean when you say you looked? Did you just look like by looking at the surface? Because there's, there's more to it than just at the very surface here. And also, I don't even know. Are you supposed to find metal? I don't know much about rocks, but just let's assume you are. How much? Because that matters. I mean, man, Roger, my dude, you're killing me.
it's just like this. It's just like this. Now that happened to be attached to a piece of black blood, which is the vein blood, which is hard. The red
Black blood, which is the vein blood. Oh man. What a comment.
blood pretty much, it looks like they washed it right out. And what's left over is these chunks of white. And you say, oh, Roger, so what? That big deal. That doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does. Because I'm going to show you what they really are. They are tendon chunks from somebody grinding them up. You see that? Look at these things. Those are tendon chunks. Your body doesn't grow like that. They don't make chunks like that.
What? Roger, my man, what? Oh my god, dude. The amount of leaps and bounds he has to make in logic to make all this work is just astonishing to me. We're not making it through this whole thing. I'm done. But man, thanks, Roger. I needed that lighthearted, just so ridiculous you must be a troll, but I honestly don't think you are kind of video. Wow. Wow. So countertops are grinded up people. That definitely gives me a lot to think about while I'm cutting on my countertops and stuff. Well, actually, I don't have granite, so I guess I'm good. So yeah. Yeah, I don't have granite. So no people on my countertops. It's kind of disappointing though, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.